Yo, I'm gonna keep it 98 plus 2 with you. I don't know what the hell Sony's doing, but we're gonna discuss on this next episode of Cinestro Core, along with some other cool shit that we've been meaning to talk to y'all about for a little while. So y'all tap in, strap in, and get ready to get that dapped in. I don't know. Play the song.
Cinestro Core, the cast. It's your weekly gold mine. Stay tuned in. Stay tuned in. They got the beats, got those comic spins. I stay tuned in. Stay tuned.
You see that number right there? What does that say? 200? Yes. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. This is our 200th episode here at the Cinestro Core. Big 200. We made it further than most podcasts do. I don't know. I don't have anything really special to say besides thank y'all for tuning in all 200 of the times we displayed our mental illness here on the Cinestro Core podcast. We love y'all. Y'all are real. Thank you for not reporting us to the authorities. And yeah, let's dive into today's topics. Boy. We're also gonna be doing a little bit of gameplay, by the way. I should have mentioned that. Let me throw that shit up on the screen real quick.
And so, this is the prep for the next season of Marvel Rivals. I think we'll just mention that really quick. Like, it's not happening right now, and it's not until the 10th. But I think it's really important to know that they're completely revamping Rivals for the next season.
Oh yeah.
And there's a video on if you go to their socials and stuff and where they explain it. So I'm not gonna go into that just because I'm stupid and don't I wouldn't be able to explain it well. But I think it's cool we're playing this old version now before the new season drops. So
before they destroy it like Overwatch.
Yeah, so we can get a feel for how different
the only the only real thought that I want to mention on the whole Rivals thing is just that for this game has been out for about roughly about a year or so, I believe.
A year,
about a year,
2 years, brother.
3 years, yeah.
2 or 3.
2 years. God, the march of time is inevitable and kills us all. But this game's been out for about 2 years. Not only does it have double the number of heroes that a hero shooter like Overwatch has, but in addition to that, they get a lot of feedback. A whole lot of trial and error has happened with the heroes and the system since launch. And they seem to really be tapped into the community. And with this update and everything that they're doing for this new season, including adding a hero like Jubilee, who's one of my favorite X-Men, I'm very excited personally for the massive overhaul they're doing.
I'm killing. Oh my god, I didn't even know Cyclops was like this.
There's great things happening within the gaming space. Sometimes though,
and some not so great.
Sometimes not really, because currently we are in the midst of a console war renaissance. Xbox and Sony are going head to head to see who can make the better versus worse decision. And so far right now, Xbox is in the goddamn lead. So Xbox, for the better part of, I believe, the past 10 to 12 years, has been just self-flagellating, just absolutely obsessed with the fact even their old CEO was like, oh, we lost the console wars. Yeah, we suck. Yeah, we're terrible. Yeah, you can spit on us. You can stomp on our balls and everything. We're Xbox. We're horrible. They would cancel a lot of projects. And in order to compensate for their lack of output, they would try to then make up for that by doing things like buying a bunch of independent studios and basically a whole bunch of indie developers. And upping the price of Game Pass in order to recoup losses, right? But the thing is, they ended up doing essentially a sunk cost fallacy. They would buy up all of these game studios, and those game studios would then not have any games output. So they're like, okay, if we just keep buying studios, eventually, statistically speaking, one of them will make a game. And, they would, but then they would horrifically underperform. And in addition to that, I remember I was reading an article and watching videos to study up on this topic. They had to pass through, I believe, a lot of the independent studios that they bought were something like 20 different levels of developmental bureaucracy. So they had to go through 20 different fucking floors of corporate people just going on and on about, oh, you got to license this, you can't do this, you can't do that.
And when it comes to
was being put out.
And when it comes to art of any medium, you have to go through that many levels of bureaucracy, like the end product tends to, for the most part, not
exactly.
good.
It tends to be to stifle the creativity, right? And so what Xbox then proceeded to do with their new CEO, I've unfortunately forgotten her name, but I will
that's
say
the problem. That's the problem. You forgot what name? What was that pronoun?
The woman.
Asha Sharma.
There you go.
Or something like
Asha
that.
Sharma.
Clock that T.
I don't know. Okay, don't say or something like that, because if I'm wrong, I'm going to sound very racist.
Bro, I don't know her name either. I'm being real with you right now.
I believe her name is Asha. I believe that is correct.
When I got to PlayStation, I don't want to play with you anymore. I forgot everything about Xbox. I don't give a fuck.
You're going to be changing your tune in based on our next topic. But Asha,
don't worry.
Asha put out a statement explaining that what they're going to be doing in order to downsize the company is that they're going to be getting rid of a lot of the fluff and a lot of the different levels of higher ups that kind of stifle that creativity, to kind of streamline the process more, make sure they can output more games, and also find new homes for the studios, because they realize there's an excessive amount of bloat and waste within this company, which is a really good thing for them to do. In addition to that, they've shut down a couple of other major projects. For instance, they've shut down, I believe, like a solid chunk of id Studios, the creators of the recent Doom reboot, which is
they shut down id.
Not necessarily shut. I believe they shut them down. Now Doom, the Dark Ages was their most recent title that they put out, and it wasn't necessarily underperforming, and it wasn't exactly like critically raved as much as like Doom 2016 or like Doom Eternal, which I love. I think Doom Eternal is a fine fucking game, but
just got that one on the little thing.
It really wasn't having as much motion and traction as they would have liked. So they also laid off half of the Elder Scrolls Online team.
Sorry,
which is interesting.
Fucking butts. Holy shit! I'm sorry.
Which is interesting, considering that
I was getting penetrated. Pause.
Which is interesting, considering that Elder Scrolls Online is one of the few live service games, also based off of an IP that Microsoft had at their disposal. But they're even willing to gut things like that. So I don't think even Elder Scrolls Online is going to be around for a while. But they've made some big changes and some really big moves in order to save their company. And I really think that this is truly a step in the right direction, honestly, for Xbox. But
I'm dead.
Matt, speaking of steps in the right direction, you were talking about PlayStation earlier, bro. What's up with your dog, man? What's with your dog, bro?
Sony taking a step in the right direction off a 1,000-foot cliff, bro. They just committed the craziest version of suicide I've ever seen in my entire life. I've been alive for 30 years, bro. I've seen many a company come and go. What the fuck are you doing, Sony? What the fuck are you doing on God's green and blue earth, bro? I've never seen some shit like this. So, was it last week? This week, Sony announced that
it was 6 days ago.
Oh yeah, so almost funny. A week ago. Yeah. So Sony announced that they are come 2028 they're no longer making physical discs. What kind of dumbass decision? So as you know, we are in an age where a lot of media is now being harder to find. The digital age, the streaming age, whatever you want to call it. Games are where you buy them on the motherfucking whatever store, PlayStation store, Xbox store, wherever you buy your game, and it's a little digital license that you're purchasing. You don't actually own the game. They can cancel that game. They can pull the service for that game at any point.
I'm glad that's what you mentioned. I'm glad you mentioned that, because it is like to be like the woker, but it's like so fascist coded, bro. Right? The fact that they sell you this idea under the guise of like accessibility, right? And we're just making it so much easier for people to have access to our games. Yet at the very same time, they recently announced that there's going to be all these titles that are no longer available for physical purchase, that are available through the PlayStation Store and PlayStation Now, that they will be completely wiping from like their servers. So if you bought those games, you will not be able to have access to them. If that's the only way to access them is through PlayStation, well, guess what? Fuck you. We're completely toast. With that. And that is horrendous and just like it's
anti-gamer, anti-consumer. It's anti-intelligence, because what type of dumbass decision is that? You know how many people like me personally, I try to buy the games. If I can get it on physical, I'm getting it. I love being able to call me old school. I love to take the disc out, look at it, be like,
shove it up my ass.
Mine. Rub it, put a little breath on it, rub it in, and put it in the machine, Let that
we're talking about games, right? We're talking about video games.
You can do a lot with video games.
Pull up.
Hey, we're talking about playing with whatever you want to play with, man.
Yeah.
Rub the shit up. Yeah.
So I just like the physical. You know, I don't want no digital little ass code. Then Sony one day decides, oh, we're not gonna fucking let you play.
We lost this license, so you don't own this anymore.
Yeah.
You actually own the right to stream it.
Like, didn't they say
own my nuts?
GTA 6 is not going to be available?
And like I said, they better. They have until November to reverse that decision, or I will not play GT unless someone gives me a code. I'm not getting that game.
I'm not buying it.
I'm
not buying it either. Luis is buying it for me. I'm not giving the money.
Is it using the loophole?
Yeah, it is.
And it's really frustrating considering the type of games that are coming out in the next couple months. Sony's and mainly like studios like Insomniac, they put out incredible games. And it's just good to have. Like, I want to be able to be like, here, son, I played this game when I was like 20 years old. Yeah. You're gonna love this shit. How am I gonna hand that down to my kid? Wolverine comes out in September. God forbid that's the last physical Insomniac game we're able to get. Another thing I should mention: the developers and studios were caught off guard by this. They didn't discuss this shit. Sony was just like, all right, fuck y'all niggas. We just gonna do this shit on our own. They definitely discussed it with Rockstar, though.
Rockstar. Yeah, you can't make a decision.
Osama bin Rockstar.
I think that's probably part of the forefront reason because Rockstar even admitted they're like, no, we're not.
Someone kill that fucking Black Panther. God damn it.
Whoa. What'd you say?
Why specifically the Panther?
Black one.
Huh? Black one. Sorry, someone killed the Panther.
But
racially ambiguous, light-skinned, yellow.
He has a name, Luis.
Aaron Pierre Panther.
Aaron Pierre. Sorry, anyways, my bad. I mean,
we love you, Aaron Pierre. Take that Green Lantern ring off,
Aaron Pierre.
But yeah, it's so GTA 6 when it was announced they were not going to be doing physical copies of the game. They were going to go and have people go to these brick and mortar stores, like these physical places like Walmart, Best Buy, GameStop, wherever the fuck, and purchase the game at full price, mind you, which is a whopping almost $80 for the base version of the game. Not including the legendary legendary edition.
$99.
Yes, which is $99, which contains features that should already be in the base game, but they realize that if they sell you a car with no tires, they can charge you the tires as an extra perk, which is fucking absurd. It's insane. So they were kind of at the forefront of this controversy, and really the only developers that seem to be really in favor of this. They're being so lambasted, matter of fact, by multiple media outlets in different sections of the internet that they were silent on their social media for over they were silent for over 6 days, and even fucking Domino's
tweeted today.
The pizza people were just like, we're no longer as a comparison, like to parody the PlayStation business decision. Said we will. They put out a joke statement. They said we will be giving out digital pizzas instead of physical pizzas. We'll be giving a QR code at our locations where customers can scan them and then go onto our site and stream pictures and videos of our favorite menu items. And that sounds absurd and that sounds ridiculous, but that's essentially what they're doing. Like it's ludicrous to assume that people are going to want to pay for a product and then not own said product. It's fucking ridiculous. At any moment, that media can be taken away from you, and God forbid that all these brick and mortar stores, right, the main places that are more dependable to get physical games now, because GameStop has completely pivoted away from games because.
Oh, you mean Funko Stop?
Yeah, exactly. No, he's right. They just sell Funkos and fucking shitty TCGs. That's all they do.
Bro,
they just sell cards and Funkos.
I don't think I've seen.
Tell me that I have a gift card for there.
For Funko Stop, bro, you about to get you. They're gonna give you a crisp high five with that gift card, dog. They're gonna give you a firm handshake and tell you to get the fuck out.
No, and I think ultimately it is like a capitalistic like hellscape. Like ultimately, I know people are gonna be like, "What the fuck? Y'all are
goes with his woke shit."
I am woke. Yes, I am woke, bitch.
Y'all sleep.
Y'all freaking out for no reason. You still buying the game, but it's like, no, dude.
No, I'm not.
They whenever they want, they could say, actually, you don't own it. Actually, you have to pay a monthly subscription to be able to play this game, and that monthly subscription is $20 a month. Just so you can play this game for 5 hours. If you want to play it for 20 hours, you have to pay $100 a month. That's literally where this is going to.
Yeah.
And then and what's so disgusting
where it's going.
And what's so disgusting and so gross about this is that it's them soft launching that fucked up
Model.
way of being able to control who gets access to what games when, and it's pricing out like working class people, and they're gonna be like, you want to play this game for 5 hours a day, pay $80 a month. You want to play it unlimited, you get to pay $200 a month, and you get access to it. And it's like, and the problem is that people are going to eat this shit up. They're going to fucking buy it because of GTA 6, and they're like, well, fuck it, no harm, no foul. And when they have you in the palm of their hands, that's when they.
Oh my god, dude! Holy shit!
Going insane.
Luis Stradamus.
Because of the heels. Luis Stradamus. Yeah, exactly. And so that's what's really kind of like bugging me about it. It's just kind of like, I know what they're doing and I know why they're doing it, and people are gonna buy into it and play into it like fucking like clockwork, and that's what's really just kind of like annoying about it. But
it also comes at an interesting time with the AI boom now almost bust, because people would be the logical step would be to switch to PC, right? Switch this to PC, be like, fuck console, I'm gonna just stick on PC and stream my Steam my stream.
Steam my shit.
Yeah, steaming my shit. But instead, we're in this weird spot where everything costs a fuck ton of money to get the RAM, get the whatever parts you need for the PC that you want to make or buy or etc. We just talked on our previous episode. We just talked about how the Steam machine skyrocketed in price. Mind you, these consoles are about to do the same shit here in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
I don't think that bodes well for gaming as a whole. No. It's not good for culture as a whole. Nothing that these companies are doing benefits anyone outside of the shareholders. And the shareholders can suck my dick if I'm being so real with you. What do you do? What do you do that furthers society? What do you do that makes my life better?
They make decisions.
Right now, you're making my shit worse.
They make decisions that line their pockets,
and I hate that shit.
And what I really just cannot seem to fathom is the fact that back in up until I believe maybe 2010 or so, online gaming was free. There was far be it from me to be an old man
Xbox
and say
Live was never free, but PlayStation always was.
We used to have like free online gaming, and then Xbox had like features you could do for like gold and silver, so you could get it at different levels, but it wasn't still as price gouging and as egregious as it was today, right? Yeah. PlayStation used to be the last bastion of free online gaming as outside of PC for the console folk, and now it's gone from the common man to a nigga who left the hood and then starts voting Republican. Like, it's forgotten its fucking roots. Bro, I don't know what the hell is going on with PlayStation.
No one's on the point.
Genuinely, I cannot seem to fathom what their decisions are or why they're trying to do what they're doing. I mean, I know why they're doing what they're doing. It's greed. It's this blatant greed. But right now, they're in a situation where not only are they going to nickel and dime you for online, right? But in addition to that, they already nickel and dime you for the PlayStation Plus package where you can play and stream their games, where they take some of them off.
No.
I had Devil May Cry taken off of my PlayStation. I still haven't forgiven you, you fucking Sony bastards. I just don't understand how Sony has the inability to make a decent laptop, make a decent camera, can't make a cinematic universe or shit, had the gaming as their last section of decent entertainment relevance, and yet decided, no, I think we'll bankrupt ourselves to where all of the internet is collectively spanking them on the ass, flogging them in public. It's fucking embarrassing. It's pathetic.
Putting the beam to these niggas' heads.
It's like how far the mighty have fallen.
Yeah, and it's not even that. It's not even that. It's like it's more than anything. Like they're losing the court of public opinion, right? But ultimately, that doesn't matter if they make money, and that's the truth.
That's where the shit's gonna shift, because right now people are starting to, and it's small. I know it seems small, but people are starting to cancel their PlayStation Plus, canceling their pre-orders for GTA. It's starting, and the Sony's president just sold like all his shares in the company, so he knows it's about to get fucked for them. Yeah. So Sony has two options: keep going on course.
How the fuck did we lose that?
Because y'all were just
you stopped touching the point.
Oh my god.
We're too busy
being cool. We only have one support. Who switched?
Me.
Who sold?
God damn.
I was trying to. Y'all couldn't kill nobody, so I had to help.
I got.
What do you mean? Look at my score.
Dude, look at my scores. The reason why I'm SVP. Your DPS and you only had 3 more. Your DPS and you only had 33 kills. Fucking dog shit.
Hey man,
So we got dog walk.
some of us got jobs, bro.
Sorry, Matthew. I got really mad that we lost that game.
No, you're good. You're good. I'm mad too.
Oh
I'm
my
mad as
God.
fuck. That Sony has 2 options. Sony has 2 options here. You either maintain course,
from this.
you maintain course and commit financial and social suicide, or you reverse course, gain back some goodwill, say, look, guys, we fucked up. We thought we knew what we were doing. We will correct this error. Also, here's some free shit. Here's some bonus features for you. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna level with you. I don't think they recover from this, man. I'm gonna be so for real with you. I'm gonna be, because in addition to this, they closed down the studio that was making the fucking Blade game. Like they've just been doing the opposite of Xbox, to where Xbox was like, listen, we understand that these people are not going to be able to work with our level of bureaucracy and under all this scrutiny, and they're independent developers. So what we need to do is give them other investors and put them to other homes where they can be free to make whatever they want and trim the fat of what we have. Meanwhile, PlayStation is like, all of these talented studios that we have, all of them are bloat. Like, Blade couldn't even get his fucking movie. We almost had his game, and then what do we have? Nothing. Less than nothing. PlayStation also had that debacle with Helldivers back in the day. I mean, like, maybe like what? Not even like a year and a half ago?
Yeah.
Plus there's the PS5 scalping issue. Like, I do not think that there's any way that Sony as a brand can recover the PlayStation IP from this. They were silent for over a week.
I don't think it's that bad.
The problem is that most people are like, but I'm not going to care.
Well, I don't think it's like an ever thing, but I think just within the realm of the good graces, right? They're not going to have the same punch that they had, right? Because right now, the leader of the console wars, allegedly, or the console skirmish, I guess, is like PC and Nintendo tied up there, because PC just has everything available and ready. No. Nintendo does tax, but at least Nintendo's like, we will give you the physical game. You own it, right? Like, you can have it. They at least have the decency to that.
I'm not paying no $80 for some fucking Mario.
No. Whether or not it's $80, Matt, I would rather pay $80 for something that I can permanently have versus $80 for something that some random fucking HOA guy in the IT section of Sony can just take away from me at a moment's notice.
Brother, game costs $80. We don't need. Why should
even if the game costs $80, at least, and also in addition to that, Nintendo has the audacity to give you a full game.
There is no game out
which
right
is
now
still the bare minimum,
worth even $60. At most $45.
Yes, but inflation.
I don't.
That's unless I buy Baldur's Gate 3 again.
I don't give a fuck. They can inflate
which I
my
will.
balls. There's no game on the market right now worth $45. Worth more than $45, in my opinion.
I don't know.
I'm not spending. I'm not spending no $80 for a base game. Let's start there too. I'm not doing that shit. Suck.
I would say $80.
God,
listen.
Yeah, we're getting destroyed. Just like Sony
there's definitely
right now.
Some games more than others that are worth a higher price tag, depending on what they are, right? Depending on what they offer and the longevity of enjoyment you can get out of the game, right? If it's priced based on that, like I hate live service games, right?
Yes.
But eventually, you are spending close to that just over a longer period of time, because it is still a subscription-based business model. So in that regard, I could kind of see it. But now we're at a point where instead of nickel and diming you for a live service type of game, these companies are like, no, we're going to get them all at once and then bleed them dry, which is probably what they're going to end up doing with GTA Online. When they give you a fucking empty box and they're like, all right, you scan this QR code, you can have this game for every other week, and then you got to give it like it's a shared custody agreement back to us. Like, it's fucking ridiculous.
I'm not saying. Like, the problem will be when people start buying the game, and because fucking Rockstar will be like, oh, they'll totally allow us to. They're going to allow us to get away with this shit. Let's keep doing it for everything.
That we're fucking them over. Let's keep doing it.
Yeah, they don't give a fuck. Obviously, fuck, man.
Right.
Sorry.
It's also because they don't really have to, right? PlayStation is a brand that has been around since the fucking since like the late 90s. Like they can really get away with this pretty easily, pretty heartily. Now, will they ever rise to the good graces of like what people have with Nintendo? Because like with Nintendo, right, when Mario Kart World dropped and other Nintendo titles for the Switch too, I know a lot of my friends were very excited for it. And then they were like, "Oh my god, that's $80! I can't believe this shit is $80!" And what did they fucking do? They paid the $80. They fucking shut their mouths and they said, "Thank you, ma'am." That's it. That they just ate their slop and they were fine with it. And that's probably what's going to happen with a lot of PlayStation people. Right now, we're seeing a large amount of outrage, but unless people put their money where their mouth is and start, voting with their wallets, essentially, we're not going to get committed, and they're going to have no incentive to try to do different. So all in all,
Magneto is fucking insane.
Fucking cooked. Xbox is doing well. And speaking of things to do with X's, let's talk about some.
Wait. You said Xbox is not doing well.
They're not doing better, bro.
No. They're on the right track. They're on the right track.
No, they're not. They're cutting jobs. That is not good. They're firing them.
No.
That is not good.
They are
going to hell.
No. To their credit.
No,
there's Microsoft.
Oh, shut up. Look, I have a point I'm going to make. No, shut up. Look, Xbox has been on the worst
kills. Stop talking about Microsoft. Get some fucking kills.
None of you also have kills.
Well, but and we're also not dick riding Microsoft. So
getting penetrated.
No, look, I'm not dick riding Microsoft. I'm trying to make a point. Look, my point is the fact that it's plain and simple. For years, Microsoft was going around just fucking punching up a whole bunch of studios and being like, "Oh yeah, we need this, we need that." And the main positions of what they've cut is a lot of the higher up people that were getting in the way of these studios from producing product. All of these fucking managerial positions that were like director to the assistant of the director of the janitor of the asshole. Those fucking higher up niggas that do not matter. That is how much bloat they've had. So they're able to trim that and get back to a status quo, a state of zero. It does suck that they have to give up jobs to do that, but those are also jobs that should possibly not have been with that company in the first place. And they're also finding new homes for the majority of those studios that they are not taking under the Microsoft and Xbox branding. They're at least moving them, as opposed to PlayStation, who is outright cutting them. I can commend that they are rehoming them as opposed to killing niggas. That is what I'm commending. Not job loss. That sucks. That's fucking horrible. The job market is already shit as it is. The economy is already shit as it is. But I will commend a good decision when I see it. And Xbox is making those right moves. That is all I'm saying. That is my point. Now we're going to talk about X-Men. 97.
Hold on, he was supposed to say speaking of X-Men.
Holy shit.
Yeah, speaking of mutated shit. Xbox.
X-Men 97, first 3 episodes just dropped. Jesus, sorry. We got speaking of shit, we got our shit pushed in like
but you know what's not me. I killed it. You know what's not shit? You know what's not shit? Xbox X-Men 97 season 2, my boy. Oh my god. Oh my god, it's so good.
What
is so
the what is the level of involvement? Because I know Bo DeMayo was ousted after the first season.
He wrote season 2.
He wrote the second season. Now, I think what David pointed this out when I was like, man, even post DeMayo, they're still kind of cooking. He did point out that DeMayo may have been a very like driving force on the show itself. But one man does not make a whole crew. You know, the ship has to be steered and manned by multiple people. So there are still multiple talented writers. And I do think that is still showing that they're going with his original creative vision, but also this writing team is still making up for the loss of DeMayo. And he's still credited as a leading producer, if I'm not mistaken, from the credits.
Well, Bo, if I'm not mistaken, Bo wrote. He finished writing the entire season. So they're using his it's his story. So you're like, oh, it's still good. Yeah. Because it's Bo, because Bo is still involved with this season. He's not
because Bo's a tortured artist.
Because he's not show running season 2, right? But I think when you have writing that's as good as Bo's and his writing team and is as good as the first season was, when you have that blueprint, it's pretty hard to fuck up, right? If you give me a good story and you've laid it all out, I just got to tell my animators, animate this, right? The story's there, that's fine. And we just have to find a decent, competent director to kind of hold all these things together. You're in good hands. The real question starts to be, what happens to this show after
season 3
involvement, right? After when season 3 comes around, after season 2 ends, which I'm sure is going to be great, right? Because like we said, season 1 is great. The 2 so far has been great. Once we get to season 3, that's what I'm really curious.
Arise.
But that's not what this conversation is, right? This conversation is about what's the future of X-Men 97 post Bo DeMayo. It's what have we done so far, and so speaking of that, what are you guys' thoughts?
Well, it's been
episodes of season 2.
When was the first season ended? It was 2023, right?
Something like that. 2024, probably.
Not 23.
24, because that was one of our middle of the year episodes. I think we finished Saltburn, Iron Claw, and then got to X-Men 97
right, yeah.
And so it's been about a little bit over a year and a half since the last season. So it has been a ways since we last checked in with the X-Men. During the finale of the previous season, they were on Asteroid M. We had a homage to the Fatal Attraction storyline, where Wolverine got his adamantium ripped the fuck out of his body.
Crazy.
Right before Asteroid M is about to crash into the Earth and explode, killing God knows how many people, because Magneto cannot calm the fuck down for 5 goddamn minutes at a time. The X-Men were suddenly teleported away. We did not know what happened to them. And then we find out, we knew, because, we're ball knowers here at the Cinestro.
Oh, I knew.
Damn it, dude! I'm trying to make us look cool in front of the hubs, bro. Please, you're embarrassing us. Come on.
We knew. What do we know?
I've been
but
I will never know.
I texted AZ about that. You see that?
The X-Men were sent through time to 2 different points. One into the future at the height of Apocalypse's power, and the other group, the B team, sent over to the ancient Egyptian time, where En-Sabah was on his rise to becoming Apocalypse.
And Obama Noor.
Now there's only 3 episodes out so far. I think we should go through episode by episode, talk a little bit about it, give our thoughts on each episode, and then we go from there. So let's start with episode 1.
Hold on. Can I say something really quick before we start?
Yeah, sure.
I really want to apologize to the people who are watching this video, and I'm sharing my fucking footage because I'm playing absolutely abysmally. So I apologize. It's absolutely
in his defense.
Shit.
We're playing some psycho killers with no
and
jobs.
My team's fucking.
We're playing hackers. I can't hit Cyclops.
I literally can't do anything.
No reason.
I just walked out the spawn.
Sorry, it's fucking. I just ulted and
demolished.
got killed. Look at that, insane shit, bro.
Yeah, we're
sorry, y'all. So I just apologize.
It looks like we got dropped in a comp match
I'm in
right
second
now.
place for the most kills on our team.
With 1. I'm gonna get SVP, and it's only because I have heals. That's it. So I just want to say I apologize. I know this is dog shit and probably boring as fuck to watch me just get murked,
annihilated.
You know what isn't boring as fuck to watch? X-Men 97.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that first episode.
They got
episode 1. What were you
booty
saying?
naked right now.
Episode 1, I would say what we do for each episode is we first off give our ratings and our overall. We one by one can break down what happened in the episode, and we give our favorite moment, our rating, and just our overall thoughts on the episode. So I'm going to say episode 1, we catch up with the future X-Men, and it's basically Scott and Jean with Nathan in the timeline where they sent him to. Talking with I cannot remember her name.
Mother
Akana.
Let me tell you something.
Yeah, wait, 1 second.
Can I speak? Can I speak?
Hold on, Matt. Hold on. 1 second. Matt, I gotta finish my thought, man.
Mother
I gotta finish my thought, dude. So he's with they're with Mother Ascani. And they're in the future timeline where they sent Cable, which is very interesting because the timeline they sent Cable to is not good. It's bad stuff's happening there. It looks like fucking Gary Indiana with Cyberpunk. It's bad. It's fucking horrible.
Hey, don't disrespect Gary like that. They made a whole TV show about it.
Timeline. It's at the height of his power. It's in almost the year 4000, like 3926 or something like that.
A lot of numbers.
And basically, they're helping Cable fulfill the prophecy of rising up to become the one who will defeat Apocalypse in this darkened future timeline. It's very interesting because the Mother Ascani, spoiler alert, is revealed to be Well, they don't outright say it, but if you
what
know,
the fuck
you
is
know.
up with her? I don't know. Why
I
she
do.
look like,
Can I say
why she look
please?
like,
Hold up,
why she
we'll
look like
get to
porridge?
Can I
Wait,
say
we'll get to it.
Avatar.
Can I say
Chill.
it, please?
No, we'll get
That's
to it
Rachel
when we get to
Summers.
episode 3.
That's
God damn
that's
it.
God damn it.
Okay, what's
Summers,
the
the
point?
future host of the Phoenix Force.
That was my
well,
shit. I was trying to say that.
I thought we were going episode by episode. Why we jumping? Okay,
That's
anyway.
revealed in episode 1.
It's not
Is it?
revealed that she's Rachel
No.
Summers, but those who know Mother Ascani
Yeah.
is Rachel Summers. That's how
Anyway.
Yeah, and I understand why they don't like outright say it.
Whenever she's talking about Nathan, whenever Scott's talking to her, I'm like, this is so funny because if you don't know what's going on, it's like, okay, niggas just talking in the room. But like if you do know, or if you read the Wikipedia page or some shit like that, Comicpedia, Mutantpedia, whatever it is, you get a little bit of juice, a little bit of details there. It's like, oh, okay, little family reunion type shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all I got on that
So
portion.
you're saying it's the future. They're trying to prepare Nathan to become Cable.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This episode kind
I
of
bet.
tries to do a lot of the emotional weight of what Scott and Jean have to deal with.
Yeah.
Knowing that, you know, they sent Cable to this future in order for him to not necessarily have a better life, but also just to really help him control his powers and also get the techno-organic virus under control because it's kind of fucking up his whole body. But in turn, it's them grappling with that and attempting not to change the future. It's also revealed that Mother Ascani is the one who whisked them through time in order to help them fight Apocalypse, sending both the X-Men's A and B teams back to different points in time, which is an interesting thing to do. I don't know how effective that would be, because I feel like I think her philosophy was like, if one fails, then the other one will succeed. But like, if they both succeed, what does that do? Like, what's
PEMDAS, bro?
No,
I'm not sure what the timeline system is.
Isn't the future? Aren't the X-Men in the future only there to be like, hey Nathan, you become Cable. You have to go become Cable.
You gotta be really strong.
That's it. Like they're not there to do anything. Apocalypse,
little bro.
They're not there to stop. It's like a Terminator, John Connor, Sarah Connor type shit. You know, it's like we're here so that we can prepare Cable. I mean Nathan to become Cable.
Oh my God!
So that he could then be sent into the past with that team to then stop Apocalypse.
Okay,
500
that confused me. Because the way Marvel operates with alternate timelines and alternate universes is it usually becomes a branch timeline in an alternate universe when you go back and change the past, right? It's not a linear thing. So I was wondering how they were going to square that circle. That makes much more sense to me now, Luis.
And then hold on, walk with me here. And then when they try and fix the timelines, they pull the X-Men into the main MCU continuity.
Yes.
And then the TVA prunes all this shit. And now here we are. The X-Men have been entered into the MCU.
Yeah.
The live action is connected to the cartoon. Yeah. Bing, bang, boom. Everybody makes a fuck ton of money. And all the comic nerds are happy.
What they're doing. I really do hope.
You'll be surprised.
I'm going to hate it.
Predictable shit.
I just am not a fan of the MCU storytelling where you have to like read the DLC or like play a fucking mobile game or do like a puzzle in the back of a box of corn pops in order to get this movie. Like it's fucking. It feels tedious.
Lost.
Well, here, let's talk about
episodes
2 and 3 really quick so that we
can before we move to episode 2 and 3. Episode 1, let's talk about that big moment. Storm got to shine. Praise be to Allah. Praise be to Khonshu. That shit was crazy as fuck. Praise be to Boston segment. Everybody, it was so lit.
Yeah.
So as you know, Storm is an Omega level mutant. We haven't really seen Omega level activity in like the live action X-Men films. She just kind of spins around, throws lightning bolts, and like they really did her wrong, if I'm being honest. And then they gave Halle Berry that fucked up wig for 3 movies straight. Here we are.
Accent that comes and goes.
Justice to my queen, bro. My bitch was in there throwing all types of lightning bolts in the first season, doing crazy shit. I was like, hell yeah, let's go. Dial it up. And then here comes episode 1. They need to get their ship off the ground, catch it to little Apocalypse, little Thomas the Tank Engine train shit, flying back to base. They're like, all right, cool. But we ain't got no power. Oh, okay, Mother Ascani tells Storm she's going to... Spoiler alert, by the way, if you haven't seen by now, why are you still here? Thank you for coming. Thank you for saying. Storm, Ascani is like, okay, we need you to go and conjure a solar flare. Storm's like, what the fuck? I can't do that shit. Ascani knows better, bro. Storm flies up, does this badass scene, and let's talk about the animation right here. It's a good point to mention this. The animation of X-Men 97 is pristine, and it's crazy. It's like a whiplash going from. But okay. Hey, man, you want this? You want Invincible or this?
So Invincible or slightly less shit animation. I'll take this. But
okay, Luis, you have never seen a cartoon outside of like those Red Dead fucking cave paintings where they just move the fucking little things back and forth on a piece of paper.
I have.
Watch the Demon Slayer. Watch the Demon. Just type in Demons. Any fight, Demon Slayer. The animation scenes of them going boom, boom, boom. That shit's crazy as fuck.
Is the name
what are you talking about? I grew up watching Dragon Ball Z. I know cartoon. I know Toon, bro.
Animations of its time.
Exactly. And it looks better than Invincible, and it's 30 years old.
But Invincible is made by.
That is true.
It looks better. Never mind.
But that does go to show, right? Amazon is a company that definitely. What did you say? Amazon has more money than Disney. They don't, right?
They do.
No, production-wise, I don't think they do.
They should, but Amazon, the company, has more money.
Right.
Anyways, the animation.
Tomato.
Both of them. The animation is amazing. And the animation is amazing. They definitely stepped up their game visuals. There's this interesting blend they're doing of 2D, 3D with perspective and everything that really just seems seamless every time that it's on screen. And I also want to give a shout out, speaking of Storm, to Allison Seeley Smith, the voice actress for Storm. She was the voice actress for her in X-Men, the animated series, the original one. But she is she's Barbadian, I guess, is what it would be, a Barbadian-born Canadian actress. And she is phenomenal.
Rihanna.
Yes.
The writing of a show can only, specifically an animated one, can only be taken so far, right? Because if the voice acting is mediocre, like we see with Invincible,
voice writing,
voice acting,
to voice,
you don't be voice writing.
It falls flat because it's done by people who don't really voice act. Then you end up with a mediocre product, right? You end up with a watered down version of what you could have that could be peak. And with X-Men 97, and especially with the job that Allison is doing, my God, every line she does
work
is incredible. Specifically with the Storm doesn't really do this so much in the comics, but with the way that she invokes her mutant abilities, kind of like not necessarily an anime character using an attack, but like she's invoking a spell, like she's casting, you know? She's talking to the weather, like she commands it. You feel like the weather is a living, breathing entity that she has to be able to tame, right? She's working in tandem with it. It almost personifies the weather itself, and it really adds.
She is the weather.
So I want to give her a shout out because her delivery, oh my God, it's amazing. And then
I'm glad you mentioned that, because remember when we were watching shit Invincible, fucking Aaron Paul. This is what happens when you hire people who actually voice act and actually care about what they're doing, not some big celebrity.
No. Aaron Paul is an actually good voice actor. In Dispatch,
I don't give a fuck.
You played one fucking video game. You played one video game. I
know what I heard.
A video game and he was great in it.
Right? Aaron Paul gave one good performance.
I feel like specifically in the case of Aaron Paul with Invincible is the fact that he has no direction. Majority of the people in that show are phenomenal actors who receive no direction. And I'm assuming that's because they can't afford retakes because their salaries are probably the mortgages of the entire fucking staff. So it makes sense why that was a very lackluster performance given by what I think is an actually pretty good voice actor.
No, it doesn't.
Also, Aaron Paul is also
you should not be giving lackluster performances in a VO booth.
No. There are plenty of actors who are great and then give lackluster performances in other products. For instance, The Acolyte has multiple actors in it that are great, but their performances suck. You cannot say just because of a lackluster performance in one thing that they are overall a trash actor. That's completely. I'm saying
he's a trash actor because he's a trash actor. This just adds.
Have you seen Need for Speed?
Yeah. Have you seen anything else he's been in that's not Breaking Bad?
You can't keep getting away with this. Hell no, you cannot.
Anyway, this is not an invincible Aaron Paul writing.
Oh, fuck this tree
podcast.
Yeah. But the point being is that when you don't have, the voice direction to amplify your good writing and your good material,
that too,
then you kind of just are wasting your tools. You're building with nothing. You're building with scraps, right? At X-Men 97, they clearly have a very competent team in the booth directing their voice actors, and it also helps that they have a lot of seasoned talent because they have a lot of the original cast from the original series that has been voicing these characters and is very familiar with their material and their mannerisms, their cadences, how they would respond in these situations. They're really well versed.
Dog shit ass.
We don't talk about him. But if you either know the Ross of it all, he's really good. Everything else is really great. So this first episode, I think in the first episode works. It's a little bit of a weak start for me, kind of compared to the second one. The second one is more action.
They stuck on the gas on that one.
Lacked for me within the emotional element because I remember we were talking, me and Luis, and we kind of had this little bit of a debate in the group chat about it. With the pacing of the show. But it goes so fast, a very mile a minute type of thing. Like, all right, this is the thing.
It has a time jump that doesn't work.
We're moving. Well, we can discuss that once we discuss episodes 2 and 3 because we're talking about things that we're having that concern.
I was going to move on to 2 and 3.
Okay. Well, I'm saying, we'll discuss that thing that we debated after we discussed all 3 episodes because talking about it now won't make sense.
Then we move on to episode 2 where they finally, help Cable fulfill his end of the prophecy. They get him into Apocalypse's impregnable fortress.
Impregnable.
I thought was going to be difficult, except for the fact that Apocalypse was like, I'm going to go pull a Terminator. I'll be right back. If he was there, bro, that should have been 3 seconds long. But they managed to make it in. They defeat Apocalypse's horsemen, and Cable, assumes the steps to help him become the soldier of the future that he needs to be, thus helping I almost said the cavemen. What? The X-Men body fly back to their present time of 1997 with Bishop and Forge. Wolverine at this point also still has his bone claws. I don't know how they're going to resolve that. I don't think Magneto can just kind of slap that shit back in. There might be some kind of reality warping aspect to fix that. I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do.
When the comics how does it happen?
I forgot how it happens in the comics.
Many ways.
No, in the comics,
I got it, and he was like, actually, he has claws again.
Fatal Attraction, but I do know it was like some shenanigans of some cosmic sort or some shit like that. I can't remember the exact specifics of it.
Wanted to say no, more claws.
But then we get to episode 3, which
Danny Huston injects him with the shit.
This is so funny because you were talking about episodes that you felt were the weakest, and we'll talk about it. But there's one very obvious winner, and it's plainly obvious to me. But anyways, episode 3. Back in the present, 1990.
We reach episode 2. Episode 2 conclusion, the X-Men are Return to the 90s. However, that's just one section of the team. The other section is somewhere out there within the time stream, right? Hasn't been returned in 1997. And what the fuck? Apocalypse? Ew, gross. But they haven't been returned to the past, so then we're like, the X-Men are like, wait a minute. If they're not here, where are they? But episode 2, in spite of, really quickly wrapping up the whole Cable plot line and everything to do with the future, we then pivot to the present day where in a world is episode 2, right? With the X-Force? Is that not it?
Help me.
I think so. That's where like X-Force and
I believe episode 2 is X-Force.
Yeah, it
is. The Jubilee episode.
Oh, this is the bad one. Sorry. This is the one I hated.
I didn't.
What?
Yeah. Oh. Okay, interesting. Wrong side of history. Go off Confederacy. But
you're gonna tell me Jubilee's well written?
But episode 2 is when we deal with kind of the repercussions of what happens with the X-Men in the present, right? While the X-Men are in the future, And in the past, the present day has no X-Men, right? Mutants are without anybody to guard them, leading in Valerie Cooper and the Commission on Superhuman Authority to then create their own governmental X-Men, the team of X Factor, consisting of Havoc, Strong Guy, Polaris,
Wolfsbane, and Multiple Man.
Wolfsbane and Multiple Man.
Y'all know
I love Multiple Man.
I knew all of those.
Now, this
R.I.P. Eric Dane.
cameos from like multiple other mutants, like the Stepford Cuckoos and Quentin Quire and some of the new mutants. We're not necessarily delving into those plot lines yet. I think these are more so just references for people who are in the know. But it's good for them to have those little winks and nods. Jubilee gets recruited onto a Black Ops team in order to help stop Apocalypse with Sunspot, also Archangel and Psylocke being on the team, and Cable being the commander. But essentially, Cable gives them the whole spiel of, hey, this is a world without the X-Men, and Apocalypse could strike at any moment. Shit could hit the fan, so we're going to have to get our hands dirty. And that's how X-Force functions, fundamentally, in the comics. They're a Black Ops unit doing the dirty work the X-Men cannot be seen doing in public, which is less than savory in some regards, more than others. And Jubilee gets her first taste of that when they go to Brazil on a covert mission to find what I think is the most conspicuous looking man I've ever seen. He's fucking green and he has a bowl cut and shoulder pads.
Yeah. He's one of the Apocalypse's horsemen.
He's War.
The horseman of Edgar. Of Armando.
No Quemaca horseman.
La Mamalona.
He literally looks like the Narcos in Mexico, the Mexico season. He looks like the guys who run one of the plazas. It's crazy.
Help.
You love to see the representation.
Yeah, first Mexican horseman, Apocalypse horseman. You love to see it.
El Mexican
Vaquero.
Caballero. Oh yeah, Vaquero.
Matt, if you don't turn around and heal me, I'm gonna kill you.
Huh?
In real life?
Where are you?
Maybe.
I
will. Boy jumped straight over my head.
Bad as this fucking episode of X-Men.
Incredible.
It was all right.
But
anyway, keep going.
But they execute the Horsemen of War, and Jubilee tries to be like, we could have arrested him, turned him over to the authorities. And Cable says one of the hardest fucking things I've ever heard. That motherfucker says, "We are the authority." Oh God.
James Gunn would have dropped a needle drop right there. Some fucking
yeah, it would have started playing.
Here comes the sun.
He would have played the Hugh Jackman version of "Smells Like Teen Spirit" from Peter.
But because they're an unsanctioned Black Ops group, and the government is currently trying to police as much mutant activity as they can under the guise of mutant safety and security, which we totally believe. The X-Force are essentially hunted, and they become fugitives, leading X-Factor to come and capture them. However, Polaris has a change of heart because the only one captured is Jubilee, and Jubilee reminds her of what she's fighting for as a former X-Men. And so she blinds the cameras, leading to Jubilee having one of, if not the most kick-ass action sequence of the season so far. My
and the
God.
Right way to do a needle drop.
One of the only action scenes. What do you mean?
I was gonna say the only.
It was
one of the two.
No, there's two. There's two.
Right.
Yeah. So one of the only.
One of the only two.
There's two.
It was incredible. She
does.
So
it's a better needle drop than Supergirl had.
They use her powers in a way that I think is probably the best display of versatility of mutant application we've seen since like season 1. Like off ripping that first episode, right? We see Storm make that tornado of glass shards.
Insane shit.
In order to shred the Sentinel, right? Which is a interesting application that I would have never fucking thought she could even.
They got her right on a dinosaur.
Right? Just different things like that, showing us the versatility within the X-Men and how these guys truly do this shit for real. And they also make great use of the lighting and the coloration of the palette of her fireworks. Because they will have the lights flicker in and out, and it gives you these really dynamic motions and pieces of lighting for her to do these incredible moves. And it's just amazing. It's incredible. She ends up breaking out and freeing the mutants that are held captive within the which it is a helicarrier. I want to say that it is a helicarrier.
It is a helicarrier. I'm calling it. I'm claiming it.
I think that scene for me does more narratively and from a character perspective than it does like in regard works better as a character from a character perspective than it does like as an action sequence. What do I mean by that? I mean that I think it's a really good use of Jubilee's powers, and I think they took a character who oftentimes gets like ridiculed and clowned. They're like, what the fuck are her powers? She does firecrackers. Like, okay, why is she a part of this team? Right. And it really kind of like made her powers functional and useful and made her like a functional member of the team. Right. And really kind of like show her worth. And I thought that was really cool. Right. And it also worked narratively in the sense that it was kind of like, oh, this is like, we see that Jubilee can fuck people up. We know that she can throw down, like that is not an issue. Right. Which makes her ideology, like her difference in ideology with Cable that much more interesting, right? Because it puts into perspective that she's not like that she's a coward or because she's scared or because she's incapable of violence. It's quite the contrary. Yeah, or because she pussy. It's because she is capable of holding her own and because
in peace.
Yeah, exactly. And because she can't hold her own and she knows that is not the answer, right? But is not scared to have to resort to that if need be is what makes, her and the X-Men's kind of like worldview on mutant versus human relations just so powerful. So it really worked like that.
I was just I'm glad you mentioned the whole bit about her. Damn, they just blew my shit right off. I'm glad you mentioned the whole bit about her like getting a more shine as a character, because like from the outside looking, if you don't really read X-Men comics or know much about the X-Men, you see a character like Jubilee, like, what the fuck are you doing here? You got a motherfucker who's invincible, who heals. He's got metal claws. You got somebody who can control literal minds. Cyclops with his laser beam, his optic blast. I almost said laser beam, my fault. His optic blast. Like you got all types of hard hitting characters. Then you got Fireworks Girl. Yeah. However, she's a badass, and like in the comics, she does cool shit too. But it's good to see it in this medium. So those who aren't well versed on Jubilation Lee know ball now. You got a little taste. Now go read some comic books.
And I was gonna say I just pushed back because in regards to the action, because I did think, and maybe it is because I don't watch a lot of tunes. I'm not a real tuner,
tuner.
So I don't. Maybe I can't compare, But it seemed a little weak to me, the animation. I was just like, oh, it just seems slow and like not. I don't know. It didn't seem like that slow. Sure, okay, but it wasn't like exciting to me like the one in the next episode was. So that's why I was like, when it comes to cool action sequences in the show, I think it was the lesser of the two that we got. So, but again, it's a preference thing. AZ really likes this character, and so I think and it really worked for me in within the context of those two things that I mentioned. But from action perspective, I was like, all right, come on, I get it. Come on, let's get the shit over with.
I thought it was pretty cool.
I thought it was also really cool because
I like when the colors go like that, and I get to look at the screen like this. I thought that was fun.
Yeah, I get to sit my juice box, my feet together, and just go.
The little gloves. Yeah, that's me. That's me when I watch this.
Oh my god!
I really think though that, and also by the end of the episode, she doesn't necessarily change the entirety of the minds of X-Force, because it's made up of a person who wants vengeance on Apocalypse more than anything, a body swapped assassin, a future killer, and then I guess her boyfriend. But like still, like there's not really many people who are exactly willing to see her worldview, right? She's still outnumbered. And by the end of it, when they do some good and they save the mutants, she helps Cable to realize, what he's fighting for, what that future really is. And it's a good little character building moment for Cable, realizing that there is necessarily not a right way or a wrong way, but a better way, like a way for them to improve on their original plans and their original goals.
Is it about a better way or a different way?
less violent way, I guess.
I'd say that's a different one. It's more so an accurate description. Yeah, a different way. You know.
Oh shit!
And that's really good. But yeah, episode 2, all in all, is really great. And then at the end of the episode, we get a tease of where the other X-Men have been sent to, and they've been sent to ancient Egypt, which we'll get a little bit more in like the big reveal of spoilers. But they've been sent to Apocalypse's origin point.
They got to meet
this brings us to episode 3, and they meet En Sabanur, the first mutant. Technically, the first mutant. I mean, there's Selene and like a whole bunch of other things, but as far as the continuity of the show, this is the first mutant.
So he's not even the first mutant. The fuck's the point of naming him that?
Within the continuity of the show, he is.
Fuck comics.
They're not gonna get into. They're not gonna get into Selene and all that shit. They're not gonna do that. There's way too much fucking shit.
It's too much
down with that. Like the progenitor. It's too much.
But actually, there's another first mutant. Fuck you.
Hey, so that guy you thought was the first mutant for decades?
You know that guy who we built as the first mutant, who we built up as first
There's
mutant?
also
he's not the first fucking
mutant. They try to do it like Wolverine and like make him like a fucking werewolf, like a lichen descendant. It's some stupid horseshit. Look, the X-Men have a long storied history, and they try to do a lot of different stuff, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. Which is why I can also give the show credit that it's streamlining a lot of the different stuff from X-Men lore, from X-Men canon, and making it more palatable and more simplistic of A, B, and C instead of A, B, Q, X, and then a triangle. You know, it's really making it as easy to understand as possible. I would. You don't like it, Luis? You want more convolution?
Not convolution. I think a little bit more elaboration would be nice. And maybe we'll talk about it now. We can mention it now. I think, one of the issues that I had with this, the first 3 episodes, I like it. I like the show. I love the show. I think the pacing is a little bit off. It's very
it doesn't make sense.
Fast. Very fast. The time jump at the beginning, I was like, is this a time jump? I didn't even know what the fuck was going on for a second. I was like, I had to kind of like because I didn't rewatch season 1. I haven't caught up on I haven't read those comics, and the comics that this season and this show for the most part is based on in like
Claremont
a really long time, in years. So I was just kind of like a little rusty, and I was like, what's supposed to be happening? And it just feels like I appreciate them not being like, we're going to just explain everything that's been going on and like sit here for 5 minutes and monologue about it. Okay,
let's go.
I understand. But they're doing the opposite of that. And they're just like, here, we're just going and we're moving from plot point to plot point. And if you miss something, don't worry about it because maybe we'll get to it. But here's what's going on with these kids. It can be kind of jarring and kind of confusing. The pacing is just very, 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 very fast. I wish we had a little bit more time with the episodes, maybe actually 30 minutes as opposed to like the 21 that you get or whatever. Just kind of, like to just elaborate a little bit on the story and on the characters and just kind of like the world that they're inhabiting, right? Because it's like they don't explain that there's this time. I mean, they do it in the first episode, but I'm just like, so Cable is with Jubilee and what happened? Where are they? Why is it only Jubilee and Sunspot?
Okay, but they were supposed to die, but them telling Cable that they're his parents, that works. It doesn't break anything. I don't know.
Right. Yeah. It's so just a little bit all over the place for me.
I see that, but I feel like I was saying in the group chat, right? This is at its core, a sequel to the 90s Saturday morning cartoon, which even though it had like much more mature themes in some aspects more than others, it would try to really make the story as streamlined and simplistic as possible. And because this is an X-Men story and the best dynamics, the best character development that you get is when the X-Men are all together on screen, I kind of understand why it's rapid firing through the plot points, kind of making sure that the X-Men just get back together as fast as possible so that way we don't dilly-dally and delay. Otherwise, you end up with that fucking Surfer Dracula fallacy of like at the very last episode, Dracula gets the surfboard type shit. If anyone's seen that meme, they know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
But
or if you've seen Daredevil,
that's oh yeah. Or if you've seen Daredevil, or like literally any fucking adaptation, like The Flash or whatever, how it takes them like 2.5 seasons to get the actual suit, right? Smallville, doesn't even fucking get the suit. You just see it on his shirt. That's it.
Yeah.
He doesn't even fucking get it. But all that to say, and I think Luis, to piggyback off what you were saying about the episode length, I don't think it's even the episode length itself, right? Like intrinsically how long the episodes are, if they're like 20, 30 minutes or whatever. Yeah. I think the real weakness is, like Matt's been saying about a lot of the shows we cover, this 8-episode format that a lot of streaming shows seem to be bogged down in. I feel like if we had 10, maybe 11 to 12 episodes, I feel like we could really get some more good character notes and building.
Yeah.
A lot more breathing room for a lot of these plot points. We could flesh out a lot more of the mutants. Because the way that I look at it as a an avid comic book reader, I see the mutants and everything. I realize like what kind of world and continuity this is established in, and I don't even bat an eye. I'm like, this is a world where fucking Thor and all of them exist, Hulk exists, right? Because we see more transition into them. So we clearly know like other superheroes, and we know there's like other mutants as has been established by like past episodes. So it doesn't necessarily take me out whenever there's like another mutant who's not explained or this, that, and the third, but I can also see how if somebody's interested in that mutant, like say like Psylocke, right? Psylocke is a very cool mutent.
Oh,
right?
I'm interested.
He's essentially two people in one body. Oh my god,
Wait,
you need
what?
help.
That's her power?
No, that's not her
someone
power.
trapped someone's mind.
It's two different.
She is a British woman in an Asian's body.
Yeah.
Asians can't be British.
Scarlett Johansson.
Betsy Braddock, right?
Yeah,
Betsy Braddock. She's in.
I
I think her name is Mariko.
Born in Britain.
She
I believe her name
Britain's cousin.
Captain
right?
Britain's
sister. Yeah,
sister.
She has also been a Captain Britain.
Yeah,
but all that to say, like I understand like how some people saw like a character like that. They're like, oh, hey, what's your deal? And they haven't seen like the original X-Men show, or like they're fans of like in passing a couple of X-Men films, and they want to know more, and their favorite mutant doesn't get a highlight. I can see why that would rub people the wrong way and seem like they're kind of glossing over things, and why it would feel rushed, and why the world doesn't feel as fleshed out. I can understand both sides. Is what I want to say about this.
And I think this is where the confusion is. I have no problem with them not introducing who these characters are. I don't give a shit.
Yeah,
like, that's not the problem. It's like the world just it seems like they're just
to our main character.
It feels very
happening to everybody. It's just
a lot of
here's point A, here's point B, here's point C. We gotta do this, we'll do this. There's also these characters, don't worry about it, but here's what you need to worry about. And it's just like, whoa, what? What do I need to think about? Okay, I guess. And it's like it's everything that's happening around the characters that's kind of that I feel is not fleshed out and not really kind of like that I wish we had a little bit more elaboration on. Not the characters themselves, that's fine. I think they work perfectly fine within the context of the relationships that they have.
Carter.
Within the context of the relationships that they have with each other. We have no kills, by the way. But that was it. But anyways, episode 3, I think, is by far the best episode out of the 3.
I'm gonna agree. I'm gonna also expound on what both of y'all are saying too. On my thoughts. Like AZ said, I've been saying this. Why is she hunting me, bitch? Fuck you. She literally on my ass. Go move, bitch. Get out of here. Fuck you. God damn it, Elsa. What was I about to say? Ooh, yeah, I've been saying for months that for years even that this little 6 episode shit. 8 episode shit is not going to work. It's not. Yeah. It's not good for storytelling. It's not good for really anything. It doesn't do shit. Look at shows like Ahsoka. Look at shows like basically all the Star Wars live actions right now. Yeah, like they're all getting hurt. Potentially good stories are getting hurt by this shorter format. God. And even X-Men 97, as great as it is it's not immune to that. If you want to tell a good story, I'm not saying go back to releasing 22 episode seasons because niggas can barely pay attention. I mean, I want that, but niggas cannot pay attention. They can barely watch a 5-second TikTok. So it makes sense to
trim the fat essentially.
Yeah, so I would say like a 15 episodes. That's doable. You know what I mean? Let people watch and get more invested into these characters. We were talking about this on when we were playing FC the other night. People are not invested in the shows that they're watching too, because they know you watch your little 6 episodes, wait like 2 years.
Y'all motherfuckers be watching Love Island, frying your goddamn brain. That's why I can't pay attention.
Not me. I watch more than
Wives. I can do both.
Can't do both.
I can't.
I watch Love on the Spectrum and live it.
You've been watching less good movies ever since you started watching Love Island, Luis.
No, it's the World Cup, bitch. It's because of the World Cup.
Yeah, that's what they all say.
I've been watching Love Island. I've been watching Love Island for years.
He watches Love Island and listens to the World Cup at the same time.
But like Matt's saying, you know, modern audiences really lack that attention span, kind of like we do with staying on a goddamn topic for more than 3 seconds. But
we cook too hard,
but like,
we gotta get off the stove.
But like, you know, modern audiences don't have that attention span for longer content, so you really gotta get as much as you can. And I feel like what we have now, while it does feel very in the sense of like how certain movies like Ghostbusters or like the Raimi Spider-Man movies feel like, you know, they're not shot outside, they shot kind of like on a sound stage, you know. They don't feel like super as fleshed out world building wise. They still are serviceable for what they are, and they're still quite good, and they're still entertaining, and they're getting the point across. And like I was saying about the voice acting and the performances, this episode deals with Apocalypse at his rise. And so the way that they combat this is, since this is a much less militant Apocalypse and much more malleable in his worldview, Eric Magneto takes him under his wing, essentially, and shows him the mutant dream of Charles Xavier and the existence of humans and mutants living in harmony, you know, of people not being persecuted, of people being able to, regardless of who they are, not have to prove that they are worthy of survival, like the Darwinism that traditionally Apocalypse would operate on around this time, but instead operate on the idea of life is worth living, life is sacred, there is possibility for balance, even if there is conflict, you know, eventually you can overcome that and become, you know, a person of peace, be a better man for a better tomorrow. You know, the same philosophy, which he kept on trying to talk, that Charles kept on trying to talk Eric into for years upon years.
Yeah.
Right. And that can so totally never backfire at all. Giving basically mutant Darwin fucking therapy. But that'll definitely never backfire.
There's a reason keep going.
They have this and they're basically helping him, you know, overcome his history of violence, of struggle, of letting his past and his pain define him, of becoming a better man.
Yeah.
Right? And the way he's doing this is by overcoming the Pharaoh, who has enslaved a large amount of his people. A Pharaoh by the name
Rama.
I was about to say it. Matt.
Who that?
Hey, where you now? You took my Rachel Summers. I take your Rama.
Who that?
You know who Rama?
But okay, for those of you who don't know and might be familiar with the show Loki, or unfortunately the lesser ass man and the shit wasp, Quantum Media. Quantum Media. In that, there are 3 versions of Kang.
I knew a friend who got that in college multiple times.
There's oh my god. Yeah. There is there are 3 versions of Kang that make up this tribunal. They consist of Immortus, the Centurion, and, you know, Kang the Conqueror.
We was Kang.
And it's basically, you know, just different versions of Kang from throughout history. And it's back in Fantastic Four comics. Basically, it was like the first time that they really fought Kang, or that Kang, I believe, had ever been shown in a Marvel comic, unless I'm wrong about that. I could possibly be. But essentially, Kang goes back in time and he's like, I'm going to establish my rule as a conqueror because I have all this future technology, and these are a bunch of fucking ancient Egyptians with fucking sticks and stones and shit. I can kick their ass. I can do whatever. And I can just rule from here. You know, start my empire from thousands of years ago. Eventually, the Fantastic Four get there and they defeat him. However, the Fantastic Four are not in this. Instead, Rama Tut is faced by not only Apocalypse, but by the contingent of the X-Men who are sent into the past. And they are essentially struggling to defeat this insurmountable foe, while also secretly having Beast and Nightcrawler take the technology of Rama Tut, which is incredibly advanced, and build a time machine to get them back to the present.
Yeah.
And
why does Rama Tut not look like Jonathan Majors?
I wonder.
Because it's different. Oh my god!
No, it's a different universe.
Different continuity.
Yeah,
They're gonna make him white now. It's gonna be Glenn Powell.
White
can be Ben Shapiro.
But
hell no,
I forgot what is the name of Apocalypse's mentor, the man who is the head of the Sandstormers with him, the one that taught him.
Obama. Not Leonidas.
Leviticus.
Fuck. Baal.
Leonidas.
The bald guy.
I think it is Baal.
It is Baal. Yeah.
You know Baal? That should have been my
Baal.
name.
I'm just gonna call him Jamal. So Jamal is
his name is fucking Baal.
His name's
Why don't you
Baal.
listen?
Oh, it's Baal.
See?
Ball George.
I told you, brother.
Baal.
He saw a bald black man. He said Jamal.
Baal is one of the leaders of the gang of brigands that helps seize the palace of the pharaoh and seize the fortress and everything. And he's the one who guides Apocalypse and gives him this idea of the strong endure, the strong survive. The only way to not show weakness and to overcome adversity is through strength and power by any means, right? And that helps Apocalypse form his sort of social Darwinism philosophy of survival of the fittest. And you have these two competing ideologies, and it's interesting because it kind of mirrors that dynamic between Charles and Eric of what they would have in the present day, where you have Eric acting as a sort of Charles Xavier-like figure, trying to get him towards the side of good, of peace, of perseverance, of overcoming the odds and using your strength for that purpose, versus Baal, who's like, fuck these niggas. They took your bitch. They took your hood. They took your chain. You can let that slide.
They snatch your chain. Yeah. I think that was a really interesting dynamic to kind of introduce. And that was a cool way to be like, oh, look, these two people at odds. But one thing that I was going to say is that I think really works about this episode, and what I like about it so much is that there's a character that I think is so kind of important. So kind of like steals every scene they're in. He's just kind of like undeniable, and just like without him, I think this show would not work. And that is Magneto. I think he is absolutely incredible. And I think that every scene that he's in, and I think that's why this episode is so good, right? Because I think that character and what, fortunately or unfortunately, Bo DeMaio has done really great when it comes to Magneto, is found a way to make him a much more nuanced character. I mean, he is that in the comics, but oftentimes he's just kind of like the X-Men's big bad,
Yeah, he's kind of like, my family's dead, now I'm angry.
Exactly. Who likes Xavier, Charles, sometimes because they were friends, but it's much more a little bit more black and white than I think modern iterations of the character are. And so that's something I really appreciate about this show. And I think what this show's doing very well is really making Eric a very kind of
dynamic character.
Exactly. That's a perfect way to put it. Yeah. It's just very dynamic. Like the fact that they are lying to what's his name? Obama Ben Sur. What's his name?
Ensabanur.
Yeah, the fact that they're lying to Ensabanur and he is manipulating him and he is kind of getting close to him and using like his good graces, his good graces to get to him and get something out of him. The fact that he's doing that, but he is also teaching him this ideology that Charles has taught him and that Charles has forgotten about, and he is being like, you can be the change that you want to bring up. Yeah, we're fucking you over because we're lying to you and we're stealing the shit behind your back, but you can also be the change that you want to see. And so the fact that he's able to do that, do both of those things without remorse, and you believe that he believes what he's telling Ensabanur, that he does want him to be kind of a better and be the change for mutants that mutants need, and and be that bridge between humankind and mutant kind, but also how willing and how far he is to kind of go, and that something Charles would not do, which is kind of cross that moral line to do what needs to be done to ensure that they get out of the situation alive, and so that's just a really cool. He's just so dynamic character. He just steals it from everybody, and
what you were saying earlier. Sorry to jump on that real quick because I had a thought while I was over there mixing my drink. this interpretation of Magneto, especially going from season 1 to now, I feel like season 1 was like, hey, this is the Magneto y'all more or less know. Bad guy, adversary of the X-Men. As that goes through the season, it kind of changes a bit, and you see where that culminates into season 2.
Yeah.
I feel like this version of Magneto plus, as shit as the Foxmen were, I loved Michael Fassbender's performance as Magneto overall. You know, he goes from this. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I was going for with this, because like you can see the glimpses of like, oh, it's just the pure rage. I'm like, we're so othered and oppressed by humanity. Fuck them. Let's destroy this shit. Also, you see the glimpses of Charles, you know, talking to him, trying to bring him like, hey, we can coexist. There's still good in humanity. There's something worth looking for here. And seeing that translated in the animation side, especially with the dynamic between Magneto and Obama Noor, just trying to kind of rein him in before he gets too far gone, and seeing how that backfires too. Him trying to be, I need to make sure we do whatever means necessary to ensure our future, ensure your dream, Charles. I'm gonna deceive this motherfucker, and guess what? That motherfucker got smart, and LaBall James figured it out, trying to kill niggas, trying to start shit up. So I mean, I like the way this is going. I like the storytelling in this.
Yeah. I also think this is the strongest episode, just due to like two things, like you guys were saying, of the dynamic of how, you know, he's kind of using the philosophy. Magneto's using the philosophy that he has had for like years upon years of trying to make a better world for mutants. Not only just a better world for mutants, but just a better world in general. Of the ends justify the means, doing some of like the worst shit possible in order to secure that better future. And he's using not necessarily brute force or some sort of like horrific manipulation. He's doing a good thing, right? He's teaching good values of not letting your past define you, of forgiveness, etc., and so forth, for the reason of making a better tomorrow, of ensuring that this guy doesn't turn into the worst version of himself. But also, it's through manipulation and through coercion and lies and deception that he's crafting this better version of himself, which then makes that betrayal that Ensaba Noor feels, as opposed to where it would just immediately be violent and be like, oh, you lied to me. No, the time for talking is over. That starts to make sense immediately, right? It makes sense how he's immediately hurt, how he's immediately disgusted. No one has shown him kindness and compassion like this. Ball has taught him, you know, how to be strong, but how to use that strength, to use that violence and anger to crush people, how to be the worst version of yourself and then inflict that upon other people. And those who are worthy will overcome those odds just as you have. Because that strength and that imposition of your will is really what shows you are strong, right? Yeah. As opposed to Eric, who's like, no, work together, etc., and so forth, right? So I think that's a really good dynamic way to use the writing and the symbolism of, not the symbolism, the parallels of Eric and Charles, and that you still have also that history and baggage that Magneto carries, of being a man who has suffered the worst days of his life, and he doesn't truly act as a villain, specifically in the first season. After his trial, he works with the X-Men and doesn't go overboard until when Genosha is attacked, until he's hit at his home, and he sees his family, friends, and people he tried to protect, people that he swore he would give his life to protect, die right in front of him. And as a result, that breaks something in him, and he becomes the worst version of himself, to where he's willing to nuke the world with an asteroid, right? And he doesn't want to see Apocalypse become that, because he knows what he's going to be in the future. He knows for a fact that Apocalypse will become this horrible monster if he doesn't do something. And it's a way for Eric to not only see himself within Ensaba Noor, but he thinks that through, in some weird way, of helping in Sabanur, like he was trying to do with the X-Men. He tried to redeem himself with that. It didn't work out. That if he can redeem in Sabanur to some degree, that redemption can push back onto him for the things he's done of making it better tomorrow, and it will all have been worth it, and he'll be washed of his sins, because Magneto's a very emotionally heavy character.
Yeah. Quick question.
And it's really good writing.
Since you know the comics, is Magneto's not the reason why En Sabanur goes down the path he does, right? Okay. I was asking for clarification, because then that makes the point that I wanted to make a very I think strong one. I like that narrative choice of using time travel and kind of introducing the X-Men and Magneto and these two different ideologies as kind of like the reason for why En Sabanur then kind of like becomes what he becomes, right? Like that's a really cool, I think, adaptive choice on Bo DeMayo's part, right? Being like, so they went into these different timelines and they're in the past, and then Eric is trying to make En Sabanur much like how you were saying, trying to get him to avoid becoming what Eric became, right? And so he's trying to teach him and guide him the right way. But by that very same kind of like that very same coin, he is ultimately the reason why En Sabanur and Apocalypse becomes who ultimately becomes. And so that is just so. It's such good writing. It's so smart.
Yeah.
He's like, we have the situation, we have these characters here. How can I then make this be an emotional payoff for Eric, right? By being like, you learn from, like you said, learn from my mistakes. Do not become what I am, right? But then also have this be an emotional payoff for En Sabanur. It would be like the first time he opens his heart and his mind and his arms to somebody, an outsider, right? Who's saying all these beautiful things to him, betrays him, deceived him and was using him, and it was one of his own, and it's like, that just kind of like, and then that sets him on this path to become Apocalypse, right? And it's like, I think that's just something so good. It's such a great adaptive choice. It's such a good, smart way to kind of introduce that character and who he becomes, and showing like these two different versions of him. This is what he was, who he could have been had the situation had things transpired differently, right? Maybe Apocalypse wouldn't have been that such a bad guy, but that was just a really cool.
And it also feeds into the themes of what Mother Ascani was saying in the future about how fate and destiny are always changing, but they're always to some degree fixed points. Things will happen one way or another, right? Regardless, one way or another, Cable is getting sent to the future. Regardless, one way or another,
canon event
to defeat. Yeah, canon events, right? Like the premise of like in the Spider-Verse films, right? There are fixed points in time that, regardless of the method, they will happen. It's almost like a Greek tragedy in a sense. It's almost poetic. Yeah. Right? No matter how many steps you take to change your fate, the outcome will happen, right? We see it all the time throughout media and throughout these cautionary tale, monkey's paw kind of time travel stories. And I think that it's really well done, just sensationally in here. And like I was saying earlier with Storm and her voice actress, and with Allison, right? I think one of the greatest highlights of what's really showing the pain and struggle is
Xavier.
I will shoot you in the face. No, Adetokunbo McCormack, who voiced Isaac in the Castlevania series, who went through a similar character arc as in Sabanur, of being a child who grew up within persecution, within bonds and chains as a slave, was beaten, broken, ostracized by society, and had to show immense amounts of strength and power, and grew to hate humanity, right? Being able to intertwine those two types of characters and make something wholly new for this portrayal of En Sabanur. It's remarkable, right? Every line he delivers is sensationally done. There also the action sequence when he throws the fucking elephant.
That was the mammoth. That shit was crazy.
When he gets that mammoth and he throws it,
whatever it is,
wall, sensational. Was cool. I mean, that entire siege was remarkable. And then at the very end, when he has the opportunity to be a better man, to be someone different, when he's teetering between the ideologies of Ball and Magneto and Charles, he ends up choosing the wrath, the pain to hold on to that, and then inflict it upon the world, which was Eric's worst nightmare, because not only now is his chance at redemption gone, he has something now that he can't redeem because he's about to be responsible for one of the most monstrous mutants ever to walk the earth. Because when Ball is knocked down unconscious or possibly killed during the skirmish, instead of sparing the slaver that was one of not Immortus, of Ramatut's generals that used to enslave Sabanora and his family as when he was a child, he decapitates him, embracing his worst version of himself, and that's where we leave off for the premiere. All in all, I would give this premiere in general, across the board, I would give a solid 4 out of 5 because it is a great start and a great return to form. But in order, I would put the best episodes as 3, 2, and then 1. Just the reverse order of their release is personally how I would rank it. 3 has some of the best mix of action and some of the most amazing character developments and dynamics introduced. 2 has X-Force. Oh, what's up?
Sorry to interrupt, but we didn't even mention Big Bishop coming in and going straight God mode for like 10 seconds. Ooh. The action in the third one, obviously the main one is in Sabanur going just crazy for about 25 minutes straight. But towards the end of the episode, everyone's like, "Oh shit, we're getting our ass beat. We've been discovered, and Sabanur gonna kill us all. It's over." And here comes Big Daddy Bishop, whooping ass. Gun. He said the gun go off. Let me let the clip off. Oh my god, it was so great because Bishop.
He said the gun ain't cocked.
He said the gun ain't jammed.
I am the gun.
I am the gun.
When he was like,
time to unload the whole. What did he say?
He was like, time to deplete the reserves, and then
I was like,
that was cold.
That shit was
oh my god.
Oh
my god, he's so fucking hard, dude.
The reserve.
I stood up on my chair.
Absolute throbber, dude.
Before
sensational.
Before I give my ratings of like the episodes and my ratings of the like star rating and then rankings, I would just say one of the things that really bothered me that I really was just kind of jarring was I really like when Angel becomes one of Apocalypse's horsemen. And the fact that they have him in the costume that he wears when he becomes a horseman, but they don't explain absolutely anything about what that is, how that happens, why he's wearing that, who that is just so fucking annoying because I think that arc, like story arc in particular about Angel becoming the horseman of death. He is death, right?
Yeah, he is death. He's literally the angel of death. That's the pun.
Becoming the horseman, like him becoming death is so fucking sick. That transformation is cool as shit. That costume is so cool. But instead, they just have him there.
Well, you also
and I get it. And I get it. Like, oh, he knows about Apocalypse. Like he seems to really like be hunting him for a reason. But it's just kind of like, come on, man. Like, well, I'm sure maybe they'll explain it, but it was just kind of annoying.
I feel that, but at the same time, you have to realize, Luis, this is technically like jumping into the MCU around like Black Panther. You know what I'm saying? Like this is a sequel to a show that existed. They've already covered that ground. If you know, you know. If you don't worry about it. You know, kind of thing. So I can
they cover that in the original show. Shit,
they go through a bunch of shit. They do Dark Phoenix. They do all that shit.
Yes,
it's all done.
Yes. That's why I'm remembering that. I was like, no, yeah, you're right. You're right. You're absolutely right.
Yeah. So there's a lot of ground covered, specifically like with Psylocke and everything, like all the other mutants that they don't really flesh out as much. They're like, this is ground we have already tread, and a lot of these mutants and all these characters have been in popular media through things like Wolverine and the X-Men, X-Men Evolution, etc., and so forth. So the popular culture, or the people who need to be in the know about these people already. We don't need to hit the ground running. It would be like if you had a Spider-Man movie and you saw Uncle Ben get shot for the 85th time.
Or like getting Batman's origin again and again.
Yeah, Exactly. We've done this. We've treaded this ground before, so it's entirely unnecessary to rehash.
I just forget. I forget
redundant
sometimes that it's like that. It is a sequel to.
But I think that is a positive in and of itself, right? It is a good jumping on point because it feels like it is its own standalone thing, and
you
that's
have to
something
go
that is
rewatch all the
impressive,
old X-Men,
especially for something that is not necessarily just a reboot, but also a sequel to something that ended decades ago, like back in 1997, right? It's very rare that you see something come back and it's this strong, this well made, and this well crafted to where it's able to stand it on its own away from its original installment, right? That's to its own credit. I think that adds to its merit, you know.
Yeah. I'll give the show 3.5 stars. I think episode 1's really boring and really slow, and I almost fell asleep multiple times. I watched it after work, but it picks up in 2, and then 3 is I think awesome. It's incredible piece of television. So 3.5, and the ranking is best is the third, second is the second best, and then the first is the worst.
Agreed on the rankings.
That does
as
mean
well. And then my rating is somewhere around it's some I don't know. I'm like 3.5, also 4 because like the third one really did like that shit had me locked in, bro.
And mind you, skins for characters you don't play.
Tron Legacy skin.
Yeah, looking at my shit.
For what's his name?
Buying everything.
He's just staring at the rogue skin.
That's me right now. No,
yo, Matt, why are you sniffing your controller, dog? What's happening?
He's hungry.
This is crazy. I'm gonna get caught up. Y'all can see my screen.
Anyway, he bought it
because I want to buy everything on the Battle Pass.
I think that's fair.
Yeah, like I think the show is, and like I said, there's so many other like TV shows out there, but this one right here, it's consistent and like it's consistent on all fronts, and I like that a lot. There's a problem I'm noticing in these shows. They be God, bro.
Consistent on all fronts and backs. Hallelujah.
That was ridiculous.
Lord have mercy.
What is going on, bro?
That was so fucking dumb. Anyways,
Gerardo, what would you put yours at for your rating for the premiere and your ranking of the episodes so far?
The rating's like 3.5. I don't know. I like some of it. I don't like some of it. I honestly don't care that much. I don't hate it, but I don't love it. And the ranking, I don't care. I don't even know which episode is which. And I watched them both twice.
Third is En Sabanur.
It's my least favorite.
Second is Jubilee.
Damn.
1 is Baby. What's his face?
I like
Baby Cable.
The first one is my least favorite. The third is my second least favorite, and I like the second one the most.
Wow.
Interesting.
You like the Jubilee one?
Yeah, I thought it was fun. I thought her lines were fucking stupid.
Yeah, he liked that. He liked that. The whatchamacallit, he liked the needle drop. He said, "Hell yeah."
That was a good needle drop.
James Gunn, this is how you do this shit.
Drop? What was
Baruch Assault.
Oh yeah.
It was actually it was a great use of music. That's the thing with I'm
Stop
glad
blaming James Gunn for that bullshit Craig Gillespie did, bro. That's not his.
I was about to say
that's
they're
his
lucky,
baby, bro. This man is in charge. What do you mean?
They're lucky that X-Men didn't drop the same time as Supergirl because we'd have fucked that. We'd have been like, bro, what the fuck? Watch Supergirl, huh?
Would have fucked that. Fucked who? Who we fucking?
The guy with all the shit in his face.
Jesus Christ! Oh,
shit on
evil.
Creme de la creme.
Creme de la group.
Evil. What's his name? Evil Simeon Yatarian.
Vaguely European bandit.
Creme of the Green Hills or whatever the fuck.
Creme of the Green.
Creme of the Yellow Hills. Yeah, that
what are y'all talking about? What the fuck?
The bad guy in Supergirl. Oh, he hasn't
seen that bullshit.
But I understand the ranking. That just goes to show, like, even though three of us had kind of the same rankings and the same numbers, that there are still going to be very differing opinions. But what we proved, at least from like the majority rankings, right, of those of us who went, episode 3 to the top, and then 2, and then 1. It proves that the show, as it goes on, is getting better. It is 1000% a sign of a good sign of a show. Yeah, it shows consistency. It shows that it's going to have enough to keep viewers invested long term. You know, it's going to make you really actually care about this show and this world and these characters outside of them just being like licensed people.
20 minutes each.
Oof.
The 20 minutes thing is kind of fucking me up.
This is going to be just the show of the month.
Is it only 6 episodes though?
It's probably.
Is it 6 episodes only?
Usually 8.
I feel like it's got to be 8. There's no way they would make it less.
Oh, thank fuck they made it so long.
I was starting to feel like I was going to be starved for more.
Yeah, I thought it was only going to be 6 episodes. Thank goodness they listened and made it 8.
It needs to be the minimum
22.
I want 22. Trust me, but you know they're not going to do that shit. They're so deep in
at least like
this streaming bullshit. That's exactly that's the sweet spot. It's like he's saying if they want to edge back to
edge.
They want to edge back to getting people watching longer seasons.
I'll show them how to do it.
I only
they gotta get to 15 episodes.
You gotta ease them into it. Yeah,
you gotta ease them into it. Baby steps. This ass shark.
Fucking
kill him. Sashimi this nigga. Sashimi this nigga.
Turn him into boots.
Float, bitch. Yeah, and you're stupid. You fucked up. Now we're all alive.
But I all in all am excited, and I think regardless of the length of the season, the length of the episodes, it's gonna be great. Unlike the length of this episode, which has been going on for nearly 2 hours, so I think we're gonna have to close it out there.
That's not.
It's an hour and a half.
Yeah,
this is you niggas watching Game of Thrones, bro. We're good. There's a game of. I don't even got one for that one.
Game of Thrones.
Game of Moans?
Game of Groans.
Game of
Grown ass men.
The porn parody, Game of Moans.
Jesus Christ.
We gotta copyright that. We can't let them have that for free, Luis.
Game of Bones.
Honestly.
Game of Bones.
You can have for free this amazing Sinestro core episode. Thank you so much for watching, listening, and or tolerating our brain dead ramblings once more. We greatly appreciate you from the bottom of our hearts and souls. We are now at 200 glorious episodes of this sensational program.
Praise be to Allah. We made it this far.
We made it this far. We made it this far, even though we made a few some trials and NBA finals that people may or may not have problems with. We made it on the other side, and that's what matters.
See the USA get packed up by a lesser nation.
Beautiful.
USA back. Big up Belgium.
America may have been defeated. We may have beat the British, but we do not beat the Belgians. We do not beat the Dutch. The Dutch kick our ass.
She killed me.
All in all, it's to say thank you so much for watching, listening, and we will greatly appreciate you. Go ahead and share us with your friends, enemies, lovers, and everybody else in between. And speaking of sharing around, if you want to get around to having good news shared to you about the latest entertainment, the latest happenings within the Hollywood sphere, interviews from behind the scenes of your favorite movies and TV shows with your favorite directors and writers, go ahead and follow Backstage XP, our homeboys over there. They don't know we exist, but we're definitely in a relationship trust.
David knows we exist.
David knows that we exist, but that's not the
David's the boss.
David's also like he's employed under the table here too. So
yeah,
under the table.
Yeah, he employs us for free, paying us an exposure. He puts a sticky note on his boss's desk, which is then thrown away by the janitor before his boss walks in. So
read this shit. Watch this shit.
So we just kind of wait. But they do a lot of behind the scenes.
Dudes are kind of gas.
Really, just kind of a more formal version of what we do here. More funding, more gooder. Honestly, and you know what our motto is: letting competent people do more gooder things. So go ahead and check out the Backstage experience. And if you're gonna be checking out great things, go ahead and check me out. Listen, man. Hey, man. Say, man. I'm a guy who makes things, and those things occasionally mediocre internet content that make me a internet macro celebrity. All right, it's pretty cool, pretty fucking sweet.
Touchdown right now.
If you enjoy topics such as comics, movies, TV shows, or genuine stupid things that I find scrolling online, go ahead and follow me at Tari Singo on all platforms, except for on Instagram where I'm at Big Papa Tari. I do a lot of commentaries on films and just things that I like breaking down, kind of like what we do here, but somehow worse, which is impressive.
Some say better.
Impressive. Some say better. They would be lying.
Impressive.
They be saying it. It is impressive. I set the bar so low, even the devil's like, damn, how you get down here, bro? So, go ahead and peep that. Also on Twitch, I stream games at Tari Singo. I should hopefully be streaming next week. I hopefully get this new job soon and my hours are better so I can actually fucking stream things, which would be fantastic. But I play games. Occasionally those games are good. But I'm not good at them. It is just the way that it is.
Committed suicide.
But if you want to see that, definitely come and watch me scream at a virtual character for 45 minutes. It'll be great. And speaking of things that are great, if you like screaming and incompetence, boy, do I have just the place to go for you. At Cinestro Core on all platforms is where you can find me and the guys and all the Cinestro gang and just random people that we find and duct tape to a chair and put a microphone in front of. Because let me tell you, we got some big things coming in the works. We're 200 episodes deep, and we're going to be doing amazing things in the future. So definitely stay tuned. Follow us at Cinestro Corp. No S.
We are still looking for a social media manager. Will you get paid?
No,
debatable.
It's not paid.
Debatable.
But you will join our group chat.
You'll get paid in lifelong friendship and
you'll
great
join our group
experiences
chat and great memes.
And when this shit take off for real, you're gonna be up there too. So just remember that. It's an investment. It's a marathon. It's a marathon. It's not a sprint.
We're killing our day ones.
It's a marathon, not a sprint, baby.
She can't tell our secrets. Can't sell our secrets on the dark web.
No, for real though. If you're interested in helping us run the social media, please tap in. That'll be one less thing on our already full plate to deal with, alongside of trying to make some connections and get some other access to things that other people do not deserve. Matt Ramos. Anyways, and if you
Straw Hat Goofy,
yeah. And guess what? Talking about games, if you ain't itching, you ain't twitching. So tap in with us on Twitch.
Oh yeah, we have a Twitch too.
We're gonna start up our gaming streams again. I'm back from injured reserve. I'm coming back. AZ, his Wi-Fi, he finally beat the shit out of AT&T, so we're locking back in, bro. He ran a one-man op into the AT&T HQ and he fixed it himself. So we will be back on the game streams consistently, trying to get back on our Twitch, our Twitch team. But yes, appreciate y'all for tapping in. 200 episodes, a big deal. Like I said, most channels don't even make it this far. We've been in this for now 3 years. Pushing on year 4 here in a little bit. We'll do something big for year 4 celebration. Also, like I said, if we get to 500, if we break that 500, that lean goblin costume will be making an appearance in the city near you.
We're showing hole.
We're showing hole on the
I will be showing cock and balls.
I'll be floating above Dallas.
It doesn't even have to be ours.
Naruto.
Yeah, not ours, but we're showing it.
Someone else.
Not ours, someone's. We won't tell you who's. It's a surprise. It rhymes with brain the sock constant. Yeah,
okay.
That'll happen.
Oh my god. And with that being said, we appreciate y'all. Love you guys, and we'll see y'all at the movies. Adios.
We're the kings of the screen, yeah. Cinestro Core, we're the dream, yeah. New episode Saturday afternoon. We in your ear, that comic book crew. More good